Alrighty then. Here we go. Streaming this game live on Twitch. It's going down live in front of our eyes. It's a 3v3. theMax, MBL playing as the Bye-Bye Man. Vilesse versus Kuta, BacT, and Paladin. This is going to be a really, really nice game. That's my prediction at least. Looks like we have non-mirror civs here. There's no overlap whatsoever. We've got Vikings, Chinese, and Mayans. For theMax, MBL, and Vilesse. MBL plays Chinese better than anybody in the game, in my opinion. So expect a really strong game out of him from that Civ. Persians, Celts, and Koreans. If Kuta is in the pocket, that would be nice. Purple player here is not going to be in the pocket, though. We're going to see a Korean's pocket for the green player here, Paladin. He will have BacT as Celts and his other teammate here as Persians. Pocket player on the other side will be MBL in the pocket. Man, I love MBL in the pocket as Chinese. My money in this game is on theMax, MBL, and Vilesse. Anyway, who cares about my money? Let's just quickly look the maps over here. Damn, that's some heavy civs advantages for Vilesse's team. Yeah, the civ arrangement is nice, I think, here. I think that it's always good to be able to have a powerhouse civ in the pocket who can go into... knights is really a nice thing to be able to go into. Anyway, looks like screw the pockets. We don't really care just yet. Back stone, back gold here for the red player Vilesse. Mayans player will want to be able to build some castles, I would think. So I like that positioning. The wood lines are going to sort of help out the red player here to wall up, but not any really great wood lines that are going to be super safe. This is really the only one. I think this is going to be really nice for Vilesse, though. Really defensible map, in my opinion. theMax will have gold to the north. Will have, God, no wood lines around his TC whatsoever. He's going to have to go forward to get any wood. Look at where he's having to take wood. But theMax is great at playing on, like, standing on his head. So I think it's not going to be a huge disadvantage for him. 4 Vils early here. Hey, greetings, Maverick. I'll turn the chat off as well. 4 Vils on wood early here for back, so Celts player is going to drush, not uncommon at all. 2 gold piles to the north of his TC. Maybe he can keep this whole area safe, but it's going to be really important. Stone out on the front for BacT does not seem like a terrible map. He can certainly keep himself pretty safe back at home. MBL is so deep in the corner, he's super safe. It's a really good point. MBL kind of smashed up against the back of the map. And if anybody can boom and then take this game over a little later on, it's a player like MBL. Pocket player Paladin here has been in top form as of late, like his back gold, like his back berries, like his safe, close wood line. 4 Vils on wood early, probably a fast castle in the pocket here. I like this map. I'm absolutely fine with this. MBL will be fully walled before he reaches pop 20. Yes, that's possibly true. MBL does like to wall. MBL does have some Chinese blood in his veins for sure. Kuta will be on the final flank here. Purple player playing as Persians. 4 Vils on wood early. Maybe thinking about a drush. Nice back gold pile. Nice back berries. Walling already toward the TC. Really nice use of those initial houses to basically be part of a really useful wall. Eventually, maybe the purple player can wall this top flank in. I like Kuta's position here quite a lot. This is a base that I could work with. Pushing in some deer as we speak. Getting that food bonus going. So let's take a look at the scouting. theMax has gone forward to see what his opponent's up to. I don't think he's found the drush. Purple player not scouting forward at all. BacT is pushing deer. Or by the looks of it, he pushed a deer or two. Yeah, just by the position of his scout. Looks like he will now start to go forward and think about where he's going to send his drush. MBL in the pocket, obviously not thinking too much about scouting. He's pushing deer as well. You got to learn how to push deer, I think, guys. I mean, probably most of you know pretty well how to do it. But I'm seeing these pro players pushing deer like all the time now. It's just 140 food that you can't afford not to go and get. Anyway, in the pocket on the other side will be Paladin. Paladin is doing what? Paladin's pushing deer. Jesus Louises, everybody pushing deer. In a slow-paced game like a team game like this, pushing all those deer in, nice food bonus, should help these players out a lot. Barracks coming down for BacT as we speak. Purple player is not dropping a barracks, so Kuta may not be thinking about... Oh, there it is. Just a couple seconds later than I expected it. Vikings player is going to send a couple Vils over to gold and think about some archers. theMax here could be caught a little unaware. He hasn't scouted the barracks of his opponent. He may have... Yeah, I don't think he scouted the right gold pile. If you look from his Fog of War, he's not going to be able to know that his opponent is drushing. He may sense it based on the Civ, but the Max here may be going to take a little bit of a risk and start building some archers. Early feudal age for the Max going up on 22 vills. 3 villagers, 4 villagers headed over to gold. I've got to think it's some archers here, walling in his wood line nicely to prepare for the drush. You got to love the Max in these situations, man. He is absolutely a very pliable-minded player, just able to deal with a whole lot of crappy situations at once. Anyway, enough of me, kissing the Max's ass. On the other side, Kuta's drush is just starting to come out. He's a little slower than BacT at the moment. Red player is building a barracks on the way to feudal, so Vilesse not going to be drushing here. And presumably both pockets will be fast castling. Really nice, balanced game here. Kuta, you could say, is a little lower than the rest of these guys, but certainly no slouch, and I think we're going to see a really, really great 3v3 here. Got to love some live 3v3 Arabia action. Great to see this going down, guys. The Max is absolutely ready. Look at him quick walling up his side, sort of baiting his opponent's drush into coming a little close to different areas. Yeah, I'm giving him too much credit. But everything is walled in, and really nice situation for the teal player. Needs to get this archery range down. That would be one thing this drush could try to deny. But you never know. You never know if that's actually going to be possible. Purple drush still slowly working its way across the map. So for the moment, the Max quick walling like a madman will eventually get himself into a safe position and continue to work and build through what is going to be an archer build. I like this decision from him if he can pull it off. Certainly his opponent's drush is not going to fare very well against a walled up eco and some archers. The purple drush might be a little more interesting. Maybe not. Vilesse is mostly walled in. I think there is a hole here that you could walk right through, but that could just be my direction that I'm looking at it from. Red player here is also on gold. 5 vills on gold for the Mayans player Vilesse. Mayans archers, pretty standard choice. Drushing with Mayans is a fairly standard choice, but we're not going to see that here. We are going to see double range archers by the looks of it. Let's go to Vilesse's point of view just for a second. Double range archers confirmed. What else could it be with now 6 villagers headed over to gold? And again, this drush on this flank from Kuta is really not getting anything done at all. It might not have been such a good investment. The drush from BacT is still roaming around. The Max has a clandestine wood line over here, but for now, he's going to get away with kind of an unprotected... You always got to protect your wood, but in this case, he's going to get away with unprotected wood. Double range archers still slowly pumping out. We will see MBL click up to the castle age on 29 villagers. Very nice fast castle for MBL, who's still pushing in deer. God knows where he got all those deer from, but he's still pushing them in. If we look at MBL's point of view, what are we seeing? We're seeing quite a bit of wood stored up. Still has his initial stone. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see a 3TC drop immediately in the castle age. Pretty standard build. Paladin clicking up as well. Feng Xin here, also known as Paladin, is going to be Koreans, going to be palisading in the side. At the moment, there is a stable on the front, blacksmith on the front. Maybe an indicator of a couple of knights coming out here from the Koreans player. Also stockpiling some wood, so maybe 3 TCs for both pockets. No huge surprise there. The Max here on the back is also walling himself up, keeping his wood line safe. Scouts flirting and running around. Purple drush still hasn't found a whole lot of love, at least not that I can find. Don't see any dead villagers, but a couple HP lost on these guys, and they're about to lose a couple more. Just a minefield of wolves. Anyway, at the moment, MBL notably does have stable blacksmith as well. So both pocket players at the moment have one stable. Is that still true? Looks like it's going to be a one stable couple of night builds for these guys. So prioritizing eco in the pocket, not such a crazy thing. Oh boy, I was looking away and sleeping. The Max has come forward with a tower on the top of the map and archers on the bottom. So the Max will build a tower on this wood line. I don't know if he has the range yet to hit these guys working at the lumber camp here. but he will knock that over. We will see BacT soon in the Castle Age. BacT, what are you building, Broseph? BacT looks like, yeah, he's going to have double range archers, and he will soon have crossbows. theMax will push through the front walls. BacT seems to be, he's got to be careful. This has to be walled as well. BacT will just wall that in time. Holy shit, that was like just a second faster than it needed to be. BacT here is going to walk toward his opponent's archers. He's got to be careful. He's outnumbered here. Crossbowmen on the way. Soon we will see +2 damage from the yellow player here as well. But it doesn't look like these armies are actually going to clash. So theMax goes somewhat deep into feudal pressure, and BacT basically walls him out, as you should. Very nice play from the yellow player here, whose Drush is still alive and still annoying people. A little bit of Xing coming down from Kuta. Yeah, Vilesse has been a little quiet for some time. Is now starting to build out quite a few archers as well. Red players should be able to handle this Drush finally. The Drush did buy some time, though. Crossbowmen in on theMax's woodline. Man, this woodline absolutely sucks. And theMax will pay for it here. Gonna lose 3 or 4 Vils. Unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. Sometimes you have a really crappy woodline you have to deal with. theMax's army is out in the front here. Did grab a Vil from BacT. Not pushing at the moment against the walls here of BacT. Man, BacT is really putting on a nice show here. Crossbows will have to micro, will have to work their way around. theMax buying a little bit more time until padded archer armor is in. Did theMax get to Castle Age? No, he did not. So the Drush is still annoying. It's still being effective, though now it is pretty much cleaned up. Just idling economy as much as possible. BacT also bringing in these really nice high-tech units. No defense upgrade yet for BacT, but he does have +2 damage. And he's going to just keep his opponent really busy with a very small investment. Very small investment from BacT, really paying off. First couple knights from both pocket players are going to just be flirting with each other for now, so no worries about that just yet. Vilesse, where's your army? Where is your army? Red player's army is starting to mass up. No sign of going forward just yet. +1 damage on those. Castle Age coming in soon. Vilesse, or Vilesse as some people would say, is not on stone. You can see there is no extra stone there. MBL adding in a couple of camels seems like an interesting reaction. His opponent in green here just has 1 stable, but those camels may pay off later in the match. Interesting. I'm actually surprised at that investment. 1 stable knights from 1 player, a couple camels added in from MBL. It's actually, MBL with 4 camels, 2 knights. Anyway, yellow player BacT still roaming around trying to annoy his opponent. He is absolutely beating up on theMax. Giving him the old Kansas City shuffle, sending a couple of crossbows in one direction. When theMax goes to defend against that group, he sends a few more in the other direction. Really nice from BacT here. He's not getting a ton of villager kills. He doesn't have a huge number of crossbows, but he's keeping theMax really busy. Teal player at the moment on 36 villagers. I paid theMax too many compliments early in this game, and now it's absolutely coming back to bite him. Anyway, it does look like 2 TCs for the green player. Here's the third one. Still 1 stable? No, second stable is now added in. MBL on the other side is on 1 stable at the moment. Is that true? So MBL is going to add in some camels, but go with 1 stable. So he's going to add in a counter unit to slow the other pocket players' knights down. We will see Vilesse here coming through unguarded. I'd love to see a couple of knights along with this, but it is what it is. These crossbowmen coming across the map, and they are going to try to hit the purple player Kuta. Kuta's going into knights, no upgrades on those, but has a mangonel out here early. That mangonel is going toward the center of this area, which is really interesting. Yeah, so maybe we'll see a sneaky mangonel shot here in the not-so-distant future. MBL is a great boom. Yes, indeed. MBL prioritizing the boom, and he is a really great player at building a fast and effective eco. I mean, look at this. He's not even really floating anything right now. Really nicely balanced. Looks like he's going to add in 2 more stables on the front. MBL Xing the green player, saying that he's headed in that way. He's camel versus Persian flank. They're going to double knights. That's a really good point. We are seeing knights from both players. Touche, Hightower. So the camels here are actually really prescient. They're out here anticipating what is to come. First couple camels head toward theMax, which is interesting. Celts player at the moment is still going into crossbows, as far as I can tell. It does have a siege workshop and a decent boom going as well. Brief pause in the match for a moment. Pretty interesting one so far. Scores are incredibly close, pretty much dead even. What Vilesse gets done with these crossbows could be really meaningful. Oh god, we caught this right in the middle of potentially an epic mangonel shot. This is kind of important because the Max is hurting. The Max is not going to beat BacT on that side. At least it looks precarious. Has already lost 4 or 5 Vils, has been hurt, is still in the feudal age, just now clicking up to castle, in some trouble. It would be nice if Vilesse could put Kuta into some trouble as well. Yeah, it's a really good point. The double knights is a really nice point there. Hightower, I love it, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Spreading the knowledge. Hopefully this pause doesn't last too long. Yeah, but we'll do what we got to do. Oh, nice.
Yes.
Pause is over. Brief pause in the action. MBL is 15 Vils ahead. He'll be able to kick some ass and imp. Yeah, man, absolutely. The only issue that I can see is that the Max is really kind of paying the piper for MBL's boom. You know, I don't mean that in any way as a bit of blame. I'm just saying that this is a tough position right now. Knights coming in from the Korean player Paladin. They've got crossbows behind them. 2 really nice high-tech Castle Age units. Unfortunately, a couple of camels right now and a feudal army are really not doing well. The Max will lose his front gold, and he is hurting, my friend. A couple more villagers going down in the process. Red player has left. That mangonel shot that I left the game paused on was not epic. You can see that this group is totally fine. And they are going to head toward the pocket. Man, if Vilesse can get in here, it would be really nice. The Max is saying, I'm dead. The Max is in some trouble. He does need a bailout for sure. The Max is Wall Street, and he is in need of a bailout, and MBL's boom is turning around maybe just in time to help him. More villagers being lost in the corner. MBL, though, sending in quite a few knights and camels, and he's going to help his teammate reestablish this area, come hell or high water. So, you know, it is what it is. It's a team game. You got to take a beating once in a while to buy your teammate some time, and it looks like enough time was bought there. Vilesse, in the meantime, has been playing on his own, and this could get a little tricky. Red player at the moment is up against 10 knights and 2 mangonels. This is a really tough position. Nice micro from Red here, walking back as fast as he can, getting in a decent amount of damage, taking down some knights here. Looks like +2 defense for the green player and only +1 for Kuta, but there's that big mangonel shot. That is really what you're looking for in that fight, getting that big mangonel shot to dwindle that group of crossbowmen down. So Vilesse will lose that first army for not too much. Got caught out in the middle of no man's land. Nice situation right now for BacT's team. They were able to get out of dodge on the Max's side in order to basically clean up Vilesse for really, really cheap. Hello, Aries. Welcome, welcome. MBL is definitely going to be the linchpin if his team is going to win. He's going to have to really do something special here very soon, and I think he's very capable of that. The Max will be taking wood in the front of MBL's area. Blue player here, Bloodlines +1/+2 knights coming forward. What are you doing, MBL? He's getting pretty close to being able to click up to imp if he wants to. Paladin is... what are you up to? Paladin in green, continuing to build knights as we speak. Not really hoarding too much resource. Has grabbed a relic. Taking stone rather aggressively. Could be thinking about a castle here somewhat soon. It's going to be a little while for the Koreans player.
Yes.
And we'll see how this one pans out. Vilesse at the moment has another army of crossbows roaming around, but there is a really nice army of +1/+2 bloodline knights from the Persian player Kuta. Kuta here is kind of searching around for these crossbows and just waiting for the right moment to probably try to come in and crush them once again. Really nice work from Kuta's knights and a couple mangonel shots. Vilesse here will take the hill. Kuta's got to be careful. But it does look like the purple player is ready to go in. I think he probably could have waited for 3 more knights to arrive here. He's going to take a few more losses for sure than he wanted to, but it does look like the purple knights... I shouldn't say it just yet. They should win the day. At least that would have been my guess. crossbowmen starting to dwindle, seem to be below the threshold to really do the damage they want to. And that army from Vilesse will also get cleaned up for really cheap. Okay, MBL and the Max are starting to assemble here together. They're going to play this one as a team. Looks like we're going to see what is mostly crossbowmen and a bunch of knights and camels. Imperial Age on the way for MBL. And we've got a push headed toward the center of the map. It looks like they are ready to maybe go hit Paladin. I'm not sure. Sort of splitting up for the moment. Player 2. Player 2 is Vilesse. Vilesse is saying, hey, I need some help over here. MBL is going to send his army of knights. I thought MBL might send the camels, but he's going to send the knights over there to deal with what is a pretty large threat from Kuta. MBL is up to Imp and has the largest army by far. Yeah, he's in a decent position. Definitely in a good position. 4 stable knights for MBL. 2 more stables coming. Hey, Mr. Dupe, welcome. I think we're going to see an interesting game. To be honest, I think the flanks for BacT and Kuta's team have outplayed their respective flank. But MBL, as you said, has a nice boom, has a nice army, and it's really the onus is upon him to help his team win. Look at this. We're going to see the Max lose probably the bulk of his army here in the corner for really cheap. Going to press them into an area where they can't be killed so fast, decrease the surface area, but those units just aren't ready to take on +2 defense knights. So, like I was saying before, I think it's time for MBL to shine. A little bit of team walling coming down from BacT. Though he missed one piece of wall by the pond, and now we'll see the Max roam into BacT's eco. BacT has a siege workshop back at home. He can definitely probably stave off this attack without losing too many vills. But I like it, man. This is a really nicely timed push from the Max. Right as I say that, the BacT arrives with basically twice as many crossbows as his opponent, and is probably going to clean this up for very cheap. Alright, so we've got a good game here. MPL is going into Imperial Age. He's gotten to Imperial Age. He's going Cavalier. Imp coming for Vilesse and Kuta as well, and it looks like MBL will head straight toward the pocket player. Green player does have a defensive castle down, is taking stone pretty intensely, but man, these Cavaliers should be able to really hurt the pocket player Paladin. Paladin, aka Feng Xin here, is going to be in some trouble. Blue Knights roaming into that base. It's a nicely built base. It's a labyrinth. These Knights want to get into the back area here, and they're just taking a lot of time to push through it. Alright. Looks like we will see a couple camels going in there, trying to do some raiding. MBL just sending everything out across the map right now. Villagers coming forward. Must be thinking about a castle drop somewhere. What is the plan? MBL's vills are coming forward for some gold. Are they all just going forward to mine some gold? I guess so. We'll keep an eye on them, but for now we see camels continuing to run around. The Cavalier haven't actually gotten in yet. I thought there was a break in this wall, but the green player quick-walled it. And MBL, for the most part, went in, idled some eco, but just didn't do the damage I thought he would. We also see a push on the top side here. MBL and the Max working together. Castle is down for the Celt player BacT, which probably means we're going to see some Woad Raiders. Woad Raiders will do really nicely against the Max. They won't be quite as nice against the Cavalier here from MBL. MBL fighting in the shade of a castle here. He's going to take some damage, but he will also be sending a couple of Cavalier forward to try to get into the eco. Just has not been able to penetrate. That has been the issue at the moment. Purple player now is going to get hit from behind. Hey, Ivik, welcome. Looks like MBL has decided he can't get into the green base, so he's going to go down and hit Kuta. This is a really nice, potentially a really nice bit of raiding that we're about to see. A couple mangonels will inevitably go down here for really cheap. And Cavalier roaming into the back here, idling a whole bunch of eco. I like it a lot. MBL on the other side just pushing with Cavalier like a madman. I was saying in the beginning of the game, I think MBL's best civ is Chinese. I feel like he plays it better than anybody. And he's putting on a show for us now, pumping out Cavalier like a madman. Looks like Kuta will have Cavalier as well. Will run into what he thought was going to be MBL's economy, and he will actually find a bit of the Max's eco. These Cavalier need to get to work, though. Time to start killing, man. either head home or start killing. We've got Halbs out to try to defend the zone. A couple more Cavalier from the purple player. But Kuta at the moment has really been hurt. 84 villagers. theMax is still recovering, so it is by no means going to be a... I wouldn't say the game is over, but it's starting to look like MBL is starting to take over a bit here. Getting raided at home, though. MBL is getting pushed on a little bit by the Persians player. He's taken gold. MBL out in the middle of no man's land. We're going to see a nice castle drop from Vilesse on this wood line. That's going to put Kuta in a really tough position. Nice to take over hills. Nice to take over map control. And this is a fantastic location in my humble opinion. Purple player is spamming Halbs at the moment to try to deal with all of the knights from MBL. Halbs coming out as well for the red player to basically go hand-to-hand combat with those units. MBL is still running around in the back of that eco. He's also just totally gutting BacT. BacT will go Elite Woad. He'll go Chainmail Armor. A couple of Korean War Wagons from his teammate Paladin here. But this is not even nearly enough to deal with this. These Cavalier are really hurting BacT. BacT is saying delete. Kuta is saying GG. BacT at the moment is on 94 vills, but he's got 30 idols. BacT will power build a castle inside of his eco to try to keep this safe. Cavalier are going to continue to come in from MBL. Doesn't look like he's going to focus down those vills. He's going to take the war wagons on hand-to-hand. Road Raiders on the way out. So BacT breathing another breath, but man, he really did lose some time and energy there just trying to deal with all those Cavalier. Blue dots blinking inside of BacT's base for quite some time. Kuta is trying to get a castle down, is trying to start to spam out Elite Eagles. War Wagons on top of the hill are... Oh no, those are Vilesse's Elite Eagles. And this is Vilesse's castle. Oh, sweet Jesus. The Mayans player, Vilesse here, is just dropping these ballsy mentalist castles right in the middle of the eco of Kuta, sending in the Eagles. Very arrow-resistant unit. Still raiding going on, still idled eco. Purple player is on 32 villagers. Oh my god. Absolutely GG on the purple side of the map. Has to see something really impressive coming soon. I guess maybe some woads from BacT, but it's starting to feel like this game is it's coming to a natural conclusion. Kuta is dead, says Ivik. Indeed, Kuta is cooked. Stick at a fork, and Kuta, MBL continuing to take over map with castles. The trade is up, and it's looking really, really, really over for me. Vilesse, MBL here, starting to trade. We've got theMax back on his feet. Vikings player was hurting pretty bad. Is back up to 90 vills. Has a huge group of crossbows. Will go Imperial, and then be able to go to Arbalest. Of course, Arbs aren't great against woads, but there just aren't that many woads from BacT. BacT at the moment is on 16 military, and MBL's Cavalier here are probably more than enough to dwindle that army. Those war wagons are useless unless versus every unit MBL is making. Yeah, war wagons not so lovely here. Paladin trying to do something useful with them, massing them up, holding the line versus MBL, but MBL is just gutting his teammate. And to be honest with you guys, this game is over. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call GG for the players in this game. I'm gonna call GG because it's over, my friends. Score difference is pretty huge. Trade is up for one team. Actually, the other team here is starting to trade as well. But BacT is just absolutely hurting. Elite Eagle Warrior and Cavalier, yeah. Those units are very arrow resistant, and right now they're just kind of running around harassing MBL with a couple units in the corner of the map as well. Purple is just totally dead. And yeah, still walls coming up, still defensive play coming up. Let's see. Yellow player BacT sending in his woads, and they're all getting cleaned up for free. So there you have it, guys. A game that I can guarantee you is going to be won by theMax, MBL, and Vilesse. Thank you all for tuning in and enjoying this one. I'm Killer B. I'm doing this one live on Twitch. It is Sunday at about, well, we're going 15 GMT to about 17:30 GMT. Should be fun. If you guys see this on YouTube, catch us next time.